back, friends, to episode 77 of the Bible Project podcast. And we're at Genesis in the 8th part of our study, working together through this amazing book of the Bible. Now, some have said these first two verses of the book of Genesis we've been looking at, they serve as a whole foundation of the Christian faith. You see, if God can create the universe, is it so difficult to believe that He can do other miraculous things, like the parting of the Red Sea? If He can actually create something out of nothing, is it so difficult to believe that the other stories in the Bible are also true? You see, it all starts with the opening two verses of the Bible. If we get our understanding of those right, then we won't have any trouble with the rest of the Bible. Because then we can truly know what the psalmist knew when he wrote, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein." That's Psalm 24 verse 1. And you can also recognize that the divinely created universe can also include you and me. It's an incredibly simple point I want to make this episode, and that is that you and I didn't just arrive here by chance. The Bible teaches that God created the whole universe, and that means He also created you and He created me. It is said that Sir Isaac Newton had a model of the solar system made, and at the centre was a large gold ball representing the sun. Revolving round it were placed smaller spheres attached to rods of varying lengths, and the smaller balls represented the other planets, and the model was constructed in such a way as the model parts moved, they moved around the sun in perfect harmony, illustrating the movements of the planets round our own sun. Now, Newton had a friend who was also a scientist, and he didn't believe that the Bible was relevant in this new scientific world. One day he was marvelling at the model of the solar system that his friend Newton had, and he said to him, "This is an exquisite model. Who made it for you?" Without looking up, Isaac Newton replied, "Nobody." "Nobody?" his friend asked. "That's right, nobody," said Newton. "All these spheres and belts and gears, they just happened to appear," he said, "and wonder upon wonder, by chance they began to revolve around each other in orbits, and all in perfect timing." Newton in his writing stated that he believed that the universe could no more have happened by chance than his model of the solar system could have appeared out of nothing. You see, if we understand these opening verses correctly, and if we believe that God created the material universe, then that also means that He created you and He created me. And if He created you and me, then that's really important. That's incredibly important, because that means that God, as your creator, is your Father. And we should always know that we should listen and obey what our Father says to us. And that, friends, is what we're going to try to do as we work together over the coming weeks and months through this amazing first book of the Bible. And in the next few studies, we're going to look at those various steps in creation described in the 6 creation days of Genesis. Okay, everyone, that's it for this time. Now, the place to go for all the links to this ministry and other ministries and podcasts that I do is the podcast notes section of this podcast on the Buzzsprout website. There you'll find links to the Facebook page, my YouTube channel, the sister podcast, the Living in Faith Everyday podcast, and also links even to my SoundCloud page, where I create the background music and sound design for this podcast. And there's also, even if you're that way inclined, a place where you can support the podcast and the other ministries to the tune of £1 a month, which really helps with the funding and costs of doing this. But other than that, I really trust you've been blessed by our time together, and I hope to see you all here again very soon.